Momentum. Make sure you are moving in the right direction. So today I wanted to let you know that a lot of us think of momentum as always maybe a good thing, like, ooh, momentum is good. No, there's sometimes momentum is good and sometimes momentum is bad, depending upon which direction are you going in. And I think a lot of agents were the ones that don't hit their goals. The agents, the one of 85% of agents that get out of real estate every 5 years, they a lot of them have momentum in the wrong direction of where they want to take their business and their lives. So you always got to be analyzing each day, each week, each month of which direction is your business going, and are you picking up momentum in a good or bad way? So examples, in a bad way, most agents, when the ones that are going to be out every 85% out every 5 years, have momentum in the wrong direction. They all of a sudden they get their license. They start off good. They're also excited. They start prospecting. They start using their marketing tools. They start honing in on their scripts and having their reminders and building their database and getting referrals. And then all of a sudden, a little momentum works the other way up, not making as many calls, not adding to my database, not following up with people, not asking for referrals as much, and just giving yourself a little, not as much. And then the momentum keeps going in the bad direction. Not as much, not as much, not as much, not as much, not as much. And then until all the way somewhere between the time they started this process to the time they decided to get out of real estate to zero and did nothing. A lot of my coaching calls every day is about momentum and are they making more prospecting calls? Are they attending more networking events? Are you adding people to your database? How many referrals did you get? Not just referrals, not a little bit of training of people buying and selling right now, referrals of adding people to your database. Because so many times in my coaching calls, like, no, I've asked so many people for referrals this week and I didn't get any. I mean, how can you not get a referral? What do you mean? Well, no one knew anybody buying or selling. I'm like, they didn't know a single person that might buy or sell a house sometime in the next 20 years. That's a referral. Someone buying or selling a house sometime in the future. Got to hone your skills, a little training on how to get referrals. Not if your job, hopefully you find people are buying and selling soon. That's a bonus, but adding to your database. So the point I'm getting to, back to the momentum, which way are the direction are you getting into? Example, someone wants to run a marathon, never ran a marathon before. What are they going to do? They're going to start small, run a quarter mile, run a half a mile, run a mile, run 2 miles, run 5 miles. It might take them a year. I don't know. I've never run a marathon. I don't want to run a marathon. I don't want to train to run a marathon, but I know that the steps it would take, I can't just run a marathon. It's going to take me time. It might take me months. Well, for someone who's not a runner, could take me years to get my body in a place where I need, could run a marathon. Same with real estate. It could take years, but are you moving in the right direction? Momentum. You can't run a marathon if you all of a sudden you go from running a quarter mile to 5 miles and you keep on dying at 5 miles forever. You're never going to go, okay, I'm going to go from 5 miles to 26 miles. It's not going to work. So where your momentum is in your business, you're not going to have more buyers and sellers if you continue to only make a certain number of prospecting calls, connections, follow up. You only have, if I ask agents, say, oh, how many people are in your database? Look it up. Well, I don't have a database. Well, you're not going to get to your goals if you don't have a database of people. Or tell an agent, how many people do you have? I got 20 people in there. Well, you're not going to have a lot of sales with only 20 people in your database. And then I talked to them about 6 months later. How many people are in your database? 20 people still. Well, there's no momentum. You have to move forward. You got to build. So daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. You have to be analyzing, is your momentum going in the right direction? And just specifically, just concentrate on one thing, prospecting. How many calls you're making daily, how many people you're connecting to, how many referrals are you getting out of those calls, how big is your database? Are you growing your database of people that you can follow up with over time, 3 or 4 times a year, forever until they buy and sell? 3 or 4 times a year, asking them for referrals. You should have a big database within a year or two of people you're following up with over a longer period of time. If that momentum is not growing, I'm just specifically talking about prospecting in your database and follow up and asking for referrals. If that momentum is not building, you are not going to grow your business. If you do you'll get lucky. There's some agents out there to just get lucky, not over a career. You can't be lucky over a career, but they might have a good year. Oh, I had a pretty good year, better than last year or the year before, because some people called me or referred me, passive referrals. And then the next year, everything falls apart because they didn't. So many agents, are luck out because some of their prospecting, some of it does pay off, but they don't continue onto it and they don't have the momentum and they don't continue to build it. And then they might have a good year, maybe a pretty good year, and next year, okay. And then all of a sudden falls apart. And they're like, I don't know. I did, 30 sales 2 years ago. And last year I did 25 sales. And this year I did 10. You didn't. Well, where's your database? Where's your prospecting? And I could probably see that fell off. And that's why. So it's something to think about today. A little bit of motivation as momentum. There could be good or bad momentum. Remember, move forward. Make sure you're always moving forward to where you want to be. That's it. Have a wonderful day and a great week, and hope to talk to many of you very soon. Bye bye.